Dear sisters and brothers, from the readings of today, we hear a lot about banquet, wedding banquet. The first reading from the book of the prophet Isaiah 25 speaks about the heavenly banquet that the Lord of hosts has prepared for all peoples on his holy mountain, where he will not only feast people lavishly with rich food and drink, but will also wipe away the tears from our cheeks and destroy even death forever. The gospel from Matthew chapter 22 talks about the wedding banquet that the king gave for his son. You find that in each story, first reading and the gospel, many people are invited to the banquet. The readings clearly tell us of the divine invitation from God for all to come to his kingdom, irrespective of our background, race, or religion. We are the people collected from the highways and byways. Some of us, we are told, are good, and some are not. God, who has invited all of us, expects us to be properly dressed in our wedding garment. For us Christians, our garment starts with our baptism. When we are baptized, just like these children will be baptized shortly, they begin to put on the wedding garment. But it is the baptismal life that counts, not just baptismal certificate. Anybody baptized can waive the baptismal certificate, but not everyone behaves properly. It is a big mistake for anyone to appear at this banquet without the suitable garment. The garment we wear to be eligible for the heavenly banquet includes keeping God's commandments, the teachings of Jesus Christ. These are the proper garments of behavior, good behavior. St. Paul helps us to understand what it means to be properly dressed as people ready for the eternal banquet in his letter to the Colossians, chapter 3, verses 12 to 14. There we read, "As God's chosen ones, holy and beloved, clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, meekness, and patience." He goes on to say, "Above all, clothe yourselves with love, which binds everything together in perfect harmony." These characterize the lifestyle of the child of God who has booked his or her ticket for the heavenly banquet at the end of time. To bring this closer home, we actually have a foretaste of this heavenly banquet here on earth. What do I mean? The Eucharistic meal we celebrate is a foretaste of the heavenly banquet. It is a gathering of the people of God. At Mass, we receive Holy Communion, the body of Christ, the bread of life. But we must make sure that we receive it only after a good preparation. St. Paul warns us in his first letter to the Corinthians, chapter 11, verses 27 to 29, saying, "Whoever therefore eats the bread or drinks the cup of the Lord in an unworthy manner will be answerable for the body and blood of the Lord. Examine yourselves, and only then eat of the bread and drink of the cup. For all who eat and drink without discerning the body eat and drink judgment against themselves. That's from St. Paul, 1 Corinthians chapter 11. If we receive it without adequate preparation, we are like the man in the gospel who came to the wedding banquet without wearing the appropriate wedding garment and ended up being thrown to the outer darkness where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. That's what we read today from the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 22, verse 13. This is why it is good idea for us Christians from time to time to go to confession to clean ourselves up, clean our garments up. Because of these readings this Sunday, I have the following questions for my reflection. Number one, am I dressed in the proper spiritual garment for the heavenly feast that God will host for all peoples at the end of time? Two, what is my attitude to God's invitation? Am I responding to it, or am I allowing the cares of material things or distractions from human beings prevent me from responding to God's invitation? And finally, I ask myself, do I make effort to receive Holy Communion in a state of grace? Sisters and brothers, let us thank God, the eternal King, who has invited us together with all peoples of different nations and religions to the great banquet in his kingdom. And let us ask for his grace to wear the garment of faith, love, compassion, and kindness daily as we prepare for this final banquet at the end of time.